Hi, this is Mrs. Wade with 8.1 Exponential Models Part 3. So in Part 1 and Part 2, we learned how to graph basic equations of exponential models. We did regular ones and shifted ones. Now we're going to go the other way, where we're given the data points and we have to actually write the equation that models it. So in number 1, we're given 2 points and we want to write the exponential equation that models that data. So for an exponential equation, if you remember from before, it has to be in the form y equals a times b to the x. So I already know an x and a y from these 2 points, but I don't know a and I don't know b. So when I don't know 2 things, I have to come up with some sort of system with what I do know to solve it. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Everybody remembers this is an xy point, xy point. So I'm going to use those to write 2 equations. I'm going to put 4 equals ab squared and 16 equals ab cubed. I got that from just plugging in this point into here and this point into here and writing my 2 equations. So now you have a system of 2 equations and 2 unknowns. Now, you could use substitution to solve this. It's completely fine, but it's a little bit hard, so let me show you a shortcut. If you take these 2 equations and put them so that the larger exponent of b is on top, so I have this and this, and I take these 2 equations and I divide them, okay? I know with exponents, when I divide them, I'm really subtracting them, right? When you divide powers, you subtract the exponents. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. A divided by a is 1. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. So now you already know one of the variables. So I'm going to take one of my original equations that I have. So here's your general one. I'm going to take my 4 and I'm going to put it right there. So I now know y equals a times 4 to the x. Still don't know what a is, but I know 2 different points with x and y. So you can pick either of the 2 points given to you. I'm going to pick 2 and 4. I'm going to substitute those in and then solve for a. So when I put the 4 in there, this gives me 4 equals a times 16. So a is 1/4. So if I know b and I know a, I now can substitute those into my equation here. So I have y equals 1/4 times b to the x. We don't have to graph this right now, but that's the equation. So that's your growth factor, that is your intercept, and that's the equation. All right, you give it a try. So here's another problem, 2 points. I want you to write the exponential equation. So pause this for a second, give it a try, and then come back and make sure you did it right. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at this problem. So I have 2 points, and basically they're x and y, and you're going to plug them in and get 2 different equations. So when I do that, this first point, when I use that, I get 2 is equal to a times b squared. When I do this one, I get 4 is equal to a times b cubed. Okay? When you divide these, like I said earlier, it's easiest if you put the larger exponent on top. Just makes your subtraction easier, but it's not necessary. I'm going to divide these. When I divide them, 4 divided by 2 is 2. A divided by a is 1. 3 minus 2, because remember I'm doing 3 minus 2. And that gives me b to the 1, which is just b. So I know b is 2. So now I'm going to take my general equation, and instead of b, I'm going to put the 2. Okay? And now I need to solve for a with an x and a y. It doesn't matter which point you pick. I'm going to pick 3, 4. Doesn't matter. So then I put 4 equals a times 2 cubed. So 2 cubed is 8. So a is 4 over 8, which is 1/2. So I know b, I know a, and so now I'm just going to plug it in. I'm going to plug in everything I know for a and b. So I get 1/2 2 to the x. And that's all there is to it. Thank you.